Hello and welcome back to Dark Souls 1. Now this is part 3 of our Halberd run, which last time, in case you don't remember, we went through all of Sen's Fortress, we got through all of Anor Londo, we took out a few side optional bosses. Generally we got a lot of progress done, and we got our Halberd to plus 15, which felt really good. We took a months-long break, so I didn't think we were gonna get so much progress done so fast. But here, I decided to let the arrogance seep in, as I do a little too often, and decided to fight the boar here instead of luring it all the way back to the entrance, which surprisingly worked out. I didn't think that was gonna happen, but the Halberd is good. And for the second boar, it was a lot more try to kill us, so I decided to take a more conventional approach. Now, if there's any problems in, like, audio or visuals, I'm sorry. Between the last part and this part, OBS had an update, and then a lot of other things updated, and whenever OBS updates, things tend to just kind of implode. So, sorry, I'll try to get anything fixed up. Now, here... yeah. Kinda forgot that when these guys hit you with melee, it hits for 3 different ticks of damage. And each one is like a full hit. And so it's like 3 full hits back to back to back from a single attack. Now, something tells me that if we got our hands on that weapon, it wouldn't do that. It wouldn't go around essentially one-shotting everything. But it is what it is. Dark Souls 1 does Dark Souls 1 things. But we head on up, we take this thing out. We get another 2 Twinkling Titanite, which is good because we've been using that for our armor. So that'll be useful. Now here we had 27, nearly 28k, which is a full level. But we didn't have any rings of sacrifice. And I wasn't going to go out of my way to get a ring of sacrifice. So I was willing to just drop the 27k. Now, technically speaking, this is a Seath boss fight, boss encounter. And so, if you want to count this as a Seath death, then I suppose you can. But it's a scripted death. You're not supposed to survive this. So, I don't. But coming on through the jail, we one-shot with this thing. With very low stats. Like I said, the Halberd is just good. But after turning off the bell, we head on up. And in case you haven't seen it before, or in case you just don't know, you want to start, like with these doors, you want to start from the bottom and go up. And you want to attack the enemy on the first one to kill them, then pick up the key. Then you want to close it in case you ever come back down. Then you want to skip the second one because it's just enemies. And then you want to use the key that you got from the first one to open the third one, because that gets you some souls. And then you don't need to close this because there's no enemy. And then you want to ignore the fourth one because, again, just enemies. And then the fifth one is the one where your bonfire is. So, just in case you didn't know about that. And then another little fun thing, in case you didn't know. If you sit down at the bonfire and then run out and up, the snake guys actually won't follow you if you have the Slumbering Dragon Crest ring on. so that makes escape a lot easier, which is nice. Hope that helps. Hope that helps you in your adventures. But moving on, we eventually get to the Crystal Caves and fight the real boss. Crabs. Clams? These are clams. I definitely know the difference between clams and crabs. I'm very trustworthy on this. But we take him out, and that's the boss of Duke's Archives done. But while we're here, we take a sip. Take note that we're coming in with 4 Estus, and since we're here, I suppose we can kill Seath as well, because why not? But having said that, I will let this fight play itself out. So that's Seath down. Pretty easy, as Seath tends to be. And a free 60k. Which was very nice. Now, we beat Seath with the Halberd plus 15, the Hollow Soldier Shield plus 6, even though we didn't really use it, Catarina Leggings plus 3, Wolf Ring, Ring of Steel Protection, and 0 Sips of the Estus because we came in with 4. And we beat him at level 58 with 33 Vitality, 30 Endurance, 20 Strength, 20 Dexterity, 11 Resistance, and we beat him first try. And with them down, we decided to teleport back over to the Duke's Archives, and then head up to the first fight, where we can now pick up our souls, and then it's not useful, and we're definitely not going to use it, but Large Magic Ember, because it's here, we're here, why not? But something that is useful is the Soul of a Great Hero, which we're probably not going to pop until the very end, but hey. And then we head on back here. We firebomb Guinevere, because I wanted to go to Dark Anor Londo to finish up the few, like, last things here, which usually there's, like, a cutscene after you attack Guinevere, and there's, like, then it goes to Dark Anor Londo, and there we go. I don't know why we had to attack the empty couch. That was strange, but anyways. Moving on. Now these 2 people spawn, which pairing, especially after a roll, is very predictable, and Dark Souls 1 in general is more lenient with pairing. Now, I didn't know if we could actually parry an Ultra Greatsword, but I decided to try it, and it worked out. So, our gamble paid off there. And I mean, hey, we'll take it. And then we decided to purchase, like, since we were just here, we decided to purchase the Giant's Halberd, so that's another Halberd that we now have at our disposal.
So it was you, was it? How dare you produce a blade upon a deity? How did you ever get this far? I
Pairing.
shall end your suffering here and now. It is the least that I can do.
The least you can do is get one hit off. But that's all you're getting.
But how? This man is a threat. Master Gwyndolin.
And you shall get no more. But thank you for the Firekeeper soul. And then we can head on off. And at this point, because I mean, like, we were here, so I decided the last two things to possibly do here would be Gwyndolin and then Painted World of Ariamis. So, and Hitbox, like, it's a remaster. I mean, I don't care about the hitbox, but if you're gonna remake the game, like, come on. You can fix that up. Now, I know that we had souls for more levels there, but I decided to just not. Because I like going into bosses with my level at an even 5 or 0. But anyways, 10 Estus, I'll let this attempt play itself out.
Oh,
That's Gwyndolin down. Again, another pretty easy boss. Not a whole lot to him. And 40k. But we beat him with the Halberd plus 15, the Hollow Soldier Shield plus 6, which we didn't use, Catarina Leggings plus 3, Wolf Ring, Ring of Steel Protection, and 0 Sips to the Estus. And we beat him at level 60 with 35 Vitality, 30 Endurance, 20 Strength, 20 Dexterity, 11 Resistance, and we beat him first try. And then last thing to do here, we got the Peculiar Doll last time, so we headed off to the Painted World of Ariamis, where things will go very normally. Like our leg twitching out for some reason. Yeah, this happened multiple times, by the way. It happened at like 3 or 4 bonfires. It was super weird. But 8 Estus, take notes of that, and I will let this attempt to play itself out with our PTSD session.
As much from thee. Why dost thee hurry toward thine death? But why? What seeketh thee?
Halberd, even when it pokes, is so much better than the piercing swords. But we got Soul of Priscilla, which we actually need. But we beat her with the Halberd plus 15, the shield we didn't use, Catarina Leggings plus 3, Wolf Ring, Ring of Steel Protection, 0 Sips of the Estus because we came in with 8. And we beat her at level 65 with 40 Vitality, 30 Endurance, 20 Strength, 20 Dexterity, 11 Resistance. And we beat her first try. Again, just Halberd is so much better than the piercing swords. I'm sorry, it simply is. But we got a homeward bone, so we can now bail out of there. And we head on off to Quaelag's domain, where we reinforce the Estus flask with the Firekeeper's soul we got from an Orlando lady. Bonfire? Bonfire? There you go. Very polished game, by the way. Again, very, very polished game. Yeah, it was even worse here. Sometimes your legs just get the jitters. You know, you're sitting on cobwebs and you're not a big fan of spiders and you're just like, no. No, I think it was because I was wearing the Catarina leggings and they're like big and bulky. And so there's like a hitbox collision or something. I'm just assuming. But we went to Ceaseless Discharge. We ran all the way back. Normally I show the entire boss fight, but please ignore that. And I don't talk through them, but Ceaseless is not a real boss. It's 20k that you have to run a marathon for. Let's be honest, you're not missing anything by me skipping the 2 full minutes of running. But 20k, we beat him with the Halberd plus 15, Catarina leggings plus 3, Wolf Ring, Claranthe Ring, 0 sips of the Estus. We beat him at level 67 with 40 Vitality, 32 Endurance, 20 Strength, 20 Dexterity, 11 Resistance, and we beat him first try. And from there, Dark Souls 1 is a very polished game, by the way. Dark Souls 1 pathing is weird. I don't know what's going on. Now, take note, they died in 2 hits. I have 20 strength and 20 dex, and they died in 2 hits. Now, look at this open area. I'm not a big fan of the Capra Demon, the boss, because of the 2 dogs in the small space. There it's got open space, but you don't get to enjoy the fight because they die in 2 hits. Because, like, these guys on paper are enjoyable. They just die too quickly here. Now, normally I jump down there and I fight the centipede thing sticking out the wall. But I usually fight it with something ranged because of how much range and damage it has. But I didn't have any arrows. And I didn't have the 4 dung pie required to toxic it. And so, for this run, we just straight up went without that bonfire. We just went through here and hope that we didn't die. And just tanked through everything. Because that's how you survive. That's definitely the best way to survive. But one shot. You'll love to see it. One shot. I mean, these things don't have a ton of health, but it's still nice to see. Like, it's just nice to one-shot some smaller mobs. And 3-shot the bigger mobs. Which threw me off. Again, 20 strength, 20 dex. Yeah, our weapon is plus 15, but only 20 strength, 20 dex. We don't have very high damage stats. But we do so much damage. Like, I don't know. Sometimes the balancing in Dark Souls 1 is just weird. Geometry diff. Okay, like, just double their health bar. The Capra demons in Demon Runes, the normal enemy ones, just double their health bar. It would make them so much better. Anyways, 9 Estus. I will let this attempt play itself out. And that's them down. Which, they could be a good boss. 20k. They could be a good boss if they just stopped spamming their, like, anime side slash attack. Like, in moderation, it's fine. But when they do it, like, 2, 3, 4 times in a row, it's just annoying. But we beat him with the Halberd plus 15, Catarina leggings plus 3, Wolf Ring, Ring of Steel Protection, and 1 Sip of the Estus because we came in with 9. And we beat him at level 67 with 40 Vitality, 32 Endurance, 20 Strength, 20 Dexterity, 11 Resistance, and we beat him first try. And from there, we get back to 10 Estus, and then we head on in, and I will let this attempt play itself out. They only use their, like, long-range thrust attack 2 times in the beginning, which was very good RNG. Anyways, we beat him with the Halberd plus 15, Hollow Soldier Shield plus 6, even though we didn't really use it, Catarina leggings plus 3, Wolf Ring, Ring of Steel Protection, and 0 Sips of the Estus. And we beat him at level 69 with 40 Vitality, 34 Endurance, 20 Strength, 20 Dexterity, 11 Resistance, and we beat him first try. Here, normally I use Homeward Bones. Like, I hit the thing on the left, Homeward Bone out. Hit the one on the right, Homeward Bone out. Here, I decided to try something a little different. And you'll see what it is, and I'll explain once I do it. Now, just like Ceaseless, this is not a real boss, and so I won't follow the normal boss rules of not talking. Because, no. But for Centipede Demon, just like with Demon Fire Sage, if they're a good boss or not kind of depends on the RNG. Demon Fire Sage got kind of bad RNG. Centipede Demon got really good RNG, so I really liked Centipede Demon there. But anyways, so what happened was I quit out. And the reason why is because my normal method of homeward boning, like using the homeward bone, it sends you all the way back to the bonfire, which running back here takes 2.5 minutes. And doing that twice, a minimum of twice, means that quitting out, which puts you directly in front of the fog gate, saves us 4 to 5 minutes, which is the vast majority of this boss. Like, Bed of Chaos is almost entirely running back to this spot. Like, that's it. That's just what the boss is. They're not a real boss. They're a running simulator. But we hit that, exit the game again, and then puts us directly in front of the fog gate. So as long as we don't die, that's another 2.5 minutes saved. Which, not gonna lie, it felt really good. I don't know why I didn't think of this strategy earlier. Because it saves a ton of time. And was honestly, by far my biggest problem with Bed of Chaos. Figuring this out doesn't make the boss good. It very much does not make the boss good. I was shielding there, but whatever. But we got up here. Again, this doesn't make the boss good, but it makes the boss tolerable. Which, we'll take that. And we take him out. Second and not real boss. Completed. 2 out of 3. There's just Pinwheel left. But we got 60k out of it. That's nice. The quit game method is so nice. It saves so much time. And I'm definitely going to do that from now on. But anyways, we beat him with a Halberd plus 15, Hollow Soldier Shield plus 6, Catarina Leggings plus 3, Chloranthy Ring, Ring of Steel Protection, and an amount of Estus. I don't know. I wasn't keeping track this time because they're not a real boss. But we beat him at level 70 with 40 Vitality, 35 Endurance, 20 Strength, 20 Dexterity, 11 Resistance, and 1 to 3 attempts. It kind of depends on if you count... Like, if you count the quit game or not. Because if you count the quit game, then it was 3 attempts. If you count deaths, first try. I'm gonna count deaths and say first try, but if you look at that and go, that was third attempt, then fair. Now, this always happens. I'm always like 2 to... It's like 1 to 7k away. Now, here I wasn't sure what to do next. And I knew that I had a few options, but they were all gonna take a bit of time. So I decided to stop recording and figure things out. And after we figured things out, as you can see, I got the Titanite catch pole, which you get from, I believe they're called Titanite demons, something like that. And we got the Black Knight Halberd from Black Knights. And we turned a plus 10 whip that we got from Blighttown, along with the Soul of Priscilla, into the Life Hunt Scythe. Now, these two are actually really good because they rely on RNG, so yay. And we also bought the Catarina set because we had the souls for it. And I found out that we could either have the headpiece and the gauntlets, or the armor with Hovel's Ring. And the armor looked really goofy, so I decided to go with the helmet and the gauntlets. They aren't upgraded, and I didn't feel like going through 3 different things while talking about like what equipment I used for bosses. So probably not gonna have that on super consistently, but just for now, yeah. And we also got the Sunlight Helm for the Catacombs. And here I decided to test the damage because I turned this to Divine. And Divine weapons, when you have no faith, tend to have a lot less damage. And then I decided to test it one-handed because yeah, two-handing the Halberds tended to move some breakpoints, but two-handing for a one-shot is pretty good. You know, I'll take it, especially for a divine weapon. But we move on through, we kill some skeletons, and we get the Lucerne, which we can check, and the Lucerne is another Halberd. And at this point, there's only one Halberd to go. And it's in this area, so head on through, dodge some projectiles. And I don't know who gave Halberds permission to be this good, but I did not expect Halberds to be even half this good, because they're a Dex class, and so far the Dex classes have not been impressing me. Now, this little guy, we had to walk through him in order to get him to explode, so I don't know what he was doing, but yeah, Halberds are strong. Unless you swing way too soon. But still. And we keep on moving, we take a few more drops, and then we grab ourselves the Great Scythe. The final Halberd. And it's at the bottom. So yeah, another Halberd. And so we got the Halberd. We got the Lucerne. We got the Scythe. We got the Gargoyle's Halberd. We got the Giant's Halberd. We got the Titanite Catchpole. We got the Black Knight Halberd. We got the Great Scythe. And then we got the Life Hunt Scythe. All 9 Halberds of Dark Souls 1. So, that was pretty cool. And we did a bit of menuing. Ran past all the bone wheel skeletons. And then I decided maybe not declare Anthering. It's good, but I like poise. I really, really like poise. So, take note, we are coming in with 8 Estus. And taking note of that, I will let this fight play itself out. We really just 4-shot Pinwheel with 20 strength, 20 dex. But we beat it with the Halberd plus 15. The Catarina legging is plus 3. Wolf ring, flame stone plate ring, and 0 sips of the Estus because we came in with 8. And we beat him at level 74 with 40 vitality, 39 endurance, 20 strength, 20 dexterity, 11 resistance, and we beat him first try. And honestly, from the end of Bed of Chaos, I was actually going to end it there. But then I saw that we were only 30 minutes in, so I decided to go just a tiny bit farther. And at this point, I'd been playing for a while, getting like materials and stuff. So I didn't really feel like playing, so I decided to end it here, looking into the inky blackness of the Tomb of the Giants, which we made really good progress today. We got a bequeathed Lord Soul Shard, we got a Lord Soul, took out 2 major areas. We got the Lucerne, we got Giant's Halberd, we got Titanite Catchpole, even though I didn't show it, Black Knight Halberd, even though I didn't show either of these because I wasn't recording at the time. Got the Great Scythe, Life Hunt Scythe, even though I didn't show us getting the Life Hunt Scythe. We got the soul, but not the transformation of it, because, again, I wasn't recording. But we also finished out getting all the Halberds. And we also got the Catarina set, even though I didn't record purchasing it, but we got it. So, that was just really good progress today. For part 3, way, way, way more than I expected, considering I took a month-long break. So I thought I'd be rusty, but Halberds are really good. And they've been carrying me through this run, which was nice. But, yeah.